Good morning. Welcome to B Cube Sunday morning. It is the third Sunday, and I can tell you what, we have invited chaos into the room by having more than one poet involved. You guys all know about poets, Yeah.
Bob, what is the collective noun for poet?
Collective noun for poets.
Therapy session.
Chaosity.
I thought that was writers.
No, writers is orderly, structured sanity.
Yeah, not.
That's
This is an alternate reality coming at you from a bizarro world.
Okay. Now, people are going to be coming and going, and at some point, if we wind up with more people than the stream can account for, we will say, and good morning and welcome in Shire. Is that pronounced correctly?
It's Shira.
Shira. Okay.
Good morning, Shira.
Good morning.
Good morning to all of you. Now, you guys might wonder, this is BQ Press. We are a actual liberal press. We are, we got our first.
No, really?
Yeah, mocking Trump. We mock the hell out of him.
You don't have to be liberal to hate Trump, I'll have you know.
No, but you have to have a degree of sanity.
There's a whole group of Republicans who make a lot of noise hating Trump.
That's why I settle for a
the
degree
Lincoln
of
Project.
sanity. I don't consider a Republican anybody who espouses Republican values to be completely sane, or have a degree of empathy, because when they talk about the greatest of these, and where is that, Corinthians or something like that, is love. I honest to God think that whoever wrote that, Paul, made a mistake. I think the greatest, one of the greatest elements of humanity is our ability to empathize.
Although I do agree that all you need is love. That's a solid doctrine from the Church of St. John, St. Paul, St. George, and St. Ringo.
Yeah. But it's all fun.
He loves
and so
you. Yeah.
What we do is those are my helpers.
They're also
what we
Beatles
do
fans,
at
clearly.
BQ Press, though, is we put poetry in all of our books, and
because it doubles sales.
No, I mean, for example, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Jane Yolen. She is a wonderful writer, but she's also a great poet. And until recently, I wouldn't publish a book without a Jane Yolen poem in it. And we have a whole lot of them out there, and we have 21 poems in this book alone, which is almost enough for a book in itself. That means 1/3 of our pieces are poems.
And what book is that, Bob?
Oh, I don't know. I call it
We are so prepared around here.
Welcome to Poetry Show and Tell Day on BQ Press.
Yeah, I call it an American Storm. This doesn't have the wording and everything on it. This is just the raw image. So all that blank stuff up there, you're going to see words in there at some point.
And I'll point out that Jeff Sturgeon, the artist, is in the house, in the chat.
Jeff Sturgeon, that is excellent work.
Oh, it is.
Good stuff. Yep.
Yes.
And no AIs were damaged in the creation of that work.
No wasted water or electricity.
Yeah.
And like the rest of the folks, Jeff is here for the poetry. We're here for the Jeff Sturgeon art.
Now, here's a theory I have about poetry as opposed to um, prose. Because when I grew up, the best reading I had in the house was a book about this thick. Yeah. And it was called Prose and Poetry. It was an old high school text. And it was my primary reading in a very rural area where there was not a lot of, we didn't have a TV for the most part. And I owned 3 books. And that was one I found in my basement. I found in the basement of my grandmother's house. And if she knew I took it, I don't know if she ever knew, but it was a dusty old box. So anyway, but what I think about poetry is why poetry appeals to us is it's more natural than prose. I can take a 3rd grader and ask them to write me a little poem, and maybe they'll give me the roses are red, violets are blue. I can't use that one. And
I hate this one. I hate you.
There once was a
was a
man
little-
from. Oh no, we can't do that.
We're supposed to be G-rated.
Being a sailor, I know so many poems that I can't use. That, hey, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Do you have a little short poem that just leaps to the tip of your tongue?
Well, I am sailor adjacent, so most of them can't be said in public either.
I have a clean one I had to write for college. I had to write a clean limerick for college. If you guys don't mind.
There was a man from Nantucket.
No.
Go for it, Stephanie.
Oh,
Computer mouse under my hand, you stole all the time that I had. With Facebooks and Twitter, cat gifts all a glitter. If my boss finds out, he'll be mad. Tells you how long ago that was written. It was still Twitter back then.
But I find that there's a lot to be appreciated in that work. But the essence of it is everybody has written some poetry. I don't care if you were a 7th grader who's found out that your girlfriend was sitting at the other table and it broke your heart or whatever. But, I think that in the heart of every human being, there lies a poem that's either written or unwritten. And that's why we can appreciate it. And I just, since I got such an august body of poet here, the poet, a chaosity of poets.
I still think group therapy or therapy group is a good.
How far off am I on that?
What, group therapy?
No.
We're doing it right now.
No, on the concept that poetry is far more natural, is a natural product of our selves than is prose.
Well, I rarely bring this up because it's not often relevant, but I have a master's degree in ethnomusicology, and I'm going to say that anthropologically speaking, song is the first and most basic thing, and that is connected to poetry because poetry and song are a continuum.
Song lyrics and poems are essentially the same thing.
Yeah, because song is the first instance where words go to music, and that's what we call lyric poetry, right? The basic stuff.
And, things we think of as poems, like the Iliad and the Odyssey, were performed.
And so,
right?
Yep.
And Beowulf, that was, those were musical events. Right?
Yeah, I personally consider myself more of a lyricist than a poet. I don't oftentimes write something that I consider just like a poem to be, read. But I think I agree that poetry is kind of maybe more natural than prose, because until it gets beaten out of you. Because I wrote tons of poetry as a really young kid, and as a teenager, I wrote a lot of really bad, angsty poetry, and I worked really hard at it. And I got my thesaurus out and looked at like what's a good word for yellow, and I worked really, really hard at it. And I learned poetic forms, and most everything I wrote was dreadful because it wasn't natural anymore. So then after that, I wrote prose. I wrote everything but poetry for years until I decided to try it again. And I was like, oh, maybe it should have just been natural instead of contrived.
Mm.
And when I was in eighth grade, they taught me Latin. And so I started incorporating Latin phrases into my Gothic angsty poetry, which was a big mistake on the part of my school, I think.
Now, my middle school poetry efforts were mostly actually doing satire of song lyrics. So, like for instance, the Winnie the Pooh song, because we had a very dark sense of humor and very tended towards that sort of thing. Winnie the Pooh doesn't know what to do. He's got napalm all over his fur.
Oh,
Yeah, those types of things.
I will share the very first poem, remains unpublished, very first poem I wrote when I was about 4 years old. And it was similarly grooving off something else, which was, I think that I shall never see a poem as pretty as an Elasmosaurus. I was really into dinosaurs. And
yeah, I know.
related aquatic life forms.
Well, as usual, I'm kind of the odd duck. You guys knew could write poems as a kid. I wrote short stories as a kid. They were horrible. But my husband is a filker, and so I got together with him and we wrote lyric songs. And then finally he told me, this sounds like a poem, not a song, dear. So I kind of came into it.
Did he explain that difference for him?
No, I don't think he has any more training in the art than I do.
I don't think you need training.
Or education. It's one of the reasons I took that poetry class in college. That, and I was sick and tired of writing essays. And I thought, well, let's try something else. And because we were trying to write a song about the Event Horizon, and I came up with several stanzas of "Beyond the Event Horizon is a world I've never seen, with beautiful, wondrous things beyond the human keen." And then I just kind of went on like that, and he kept saying, "That's poetry, dear. That's not a song." And I go, "Okay."
They'll set it to music.
Hey,
If you
Barbara
can set
Streisand.
it to music, it's a song.
Yeah.
So my
Streisand
Jenna,
saying that they would call it a song.
my vocabulary at age 4 was like very simple words and dinosaur names and pterosaur names and aquatic reptile names from the Jurassic and Triassic. And I could do all of those.
I think probably my earliest influence as a child writing poetry was Dr. Seuss.
Oh, yes.
Really? Now, I got to tell you, how many of you, okay, we got one Dr. Seuss. How many people here were the Sidewalk Ends fans?
As I was going down the stair, I met a man that wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. Oh, how I wish he'd go away. Yes, I had a teacher who read us all the poems inside Where the Sidewalk Ends.
I was other Shel Silverstein, but not that one.
I had eight sisters, so I had Sister for Sale, Sister for Sale.
Nice. So Dr. Seuss, in One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, wrote one of the most Lovecraftian poems ever. It's had these two kids holding this ginormous fishbowl with a strange walrus-like creature in it, and it's much bigger than they are, and the water alone has to weigh 100 pounds. And they say, "Look what we found in the park in the dark. We will take it home. We will call it Clark. It will live at our house it will grow and grow. Will our mother like this? We don't know.
Don't know.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
God.
I'd forgotten that one. Yeah.
So Shira,
Cosmic horror from Dr. Seuss.
Shira, what was do you have any early influences?
I can't remember. It's pretty dark back then. And I'm actually not a poet. I'm a flash writer. And there is an overlap between poetry and flash. And I really wanted to hear you poets talk. So that's why I'm here this morning.
To hear what?
I wanted to hear you all talk, your poetry minds. I wanted an insight into your poetry minds, and I'm getting it. So thank you.
Oh,
Shel
okay.
Silverstein and Dr. Seuss. That's the insight.
That's the big ones in
And
our culture.
Don't forget Robert Frost.
Yeah, but that's for adults.
Well, I don't know. You're not quite as mature as many of us here who had the opportunity to live. Our lives overlapped with that of Frost, and I kind of like some of his work. It stuck with me.
Hmm.
But so did Shel Silverstein. So I guess I've a lot of stuff can stick with me. Oops, I think I heard a beep. Now,
Hey, Bob, do you think
Question.
maybe some of these people could read some of their poetry?
well, that's the point I was just getting ready to make.
Great minds think
Yes.
alike, and so do ours.
That's it.
I think we're more on the fools seldom differ side, but
No
Well-
comment.
Now, here's a poet. I'm going to introduce him. Then he'll tell us about himself. Malcolm. Oh, let me move him a little bit. I don't know if he shows up on everybody else's screen there, but I have now just moved Malcolm to the middle.
Oh boy.
There was a show
TV
about
show?
that.
Yeah, I kind of remember hearing about that.
Or as
Yeah.
we might say, the housemaid position of the Brady Bunch.
Yes. Yeah.
Now,
Center
so
Square.
how about Malcolm? Tell us who you are, what your poem is that is appearing in our American Storm,
Sure.
and a little bit about the editorial process that worked for you. Sorry.
My name's Malcolm Crow. I have a doctorate in biology, and so
Ooh.
the abbreviation of my name is kind of a play on that. So MD Crow kind of has a nice ring to it. My poem is called "If I Must." It's a kind of a declaration of my intention to oppose everything I can about this administration, and in particular what they're doing to transgender folks. I had the great pleasure of sitting next to Bob when we were at RadCon. I travel with David Gerald quite a bit, and David and Bob's tables were next to each other in the dealer's room at RadCon. So David and I got to talking about my poem, and he also brought in Cliff, and they gave me some really excellent notes on edits that I could do, and I agreed with them. The biggest problem I have in my writing is sticking the landing, and that's a very important thing to get right. And so I was not satisfied. In fact, I rewrote the ending of it several times before I even submitted it, and I was still really not happy with it. And Cliff and Bob gave me some very good direct suggestions on a new direction I could take. And I think I've done that, and I think it's now a much better poem. So I really appreciate their input on that. The other thing is, this is my first sale ever, so I'm really excited to be in the book. Yeah. So what else do you want to know? I love science fiction. I write short stories and prose as well as poetry. I'm currently working on a couple of short stories for submission to somewhere. I'm not sure where yet. I also have a couple of novels I've written that aren't quite ready for prime time yet, but I'm hoping eventually they will be.
Well, I am confident that they will, and it was a pleasure sitting and chatting with you at the RadCon convention. We did. Your poem got a lot of editorial attention due to that nature, due to that location. So I hope it came out good. Now, give us a title and a read it.
Okay. It's called If I Must. All right. I will not be a statistic. I will not be one of the 8% shunned by their families, or this 48% mistreated by doctors, or the 11% fired from their jobs. I will not be one of the 3% physically assaulted, or the 30% verbally harassed, or the 44% who have tried to take their own lives, or one of the 350 murdered this year simply for being their transgender selves. I will not be a name on a remembrance list read out to honor me in death. I would rather my name be celebrated as a helper, a leader, an advocate, someone who spoke up and spoke out for others who could not find their voices. I would rather be known for lifting my siblings and holding them tight and whispering, "You are loved." I will not have a candle lit in my memory. I would rather be a spark that sets aflame someone else's passion. I would rather be the lantern that lights the way to lead others out of darkness. I will be the beacon that burns in the hearts and minds of the ignorant, of those who hate what they do not know. I would rather they see me as a person than continue to despise me as a demon. But if I must become a statistic, if I must be a name on a list, if I must have a candle lit, I will not go meekly or politely. I will not make myself small or still. I will stand proudly and with courage speak the truth of who I am. And to those who can neither accept nor respect my authentic self, know that I don't really give a damn.
You definitely stuck the landing on that one.
Thank you. I think it's definitely much better. Yes.
Yes.
That's very, very good, Malcolm. Okay, just for that, I'm moving you to the top.
Oh, you.
Top shelf
I don't
poet.
want to be in the middle. Everybody's looking at me. Ah!
That's okay.
Does that mean you can go next?
Pretend
Wait a
you're
minute.
Poland. That was
I don't-
spectacular. Now you can see why we bought that.
Yes.
We are, it's resistance. And so while BQ Press has an interesting phenomenon. We don't buy finished work. We buy work that oftentimes is presented as finished, but we buy work that we see, hey, this is really good, but how good can it be? Does it have greater potential than is seen on the page today? And we love helping and working with authors to see if we can find help them find the next level. Because while a stepladder can't change a light bulb, sometimes we can certainly help get the electrician up there so he can or she can. And that's what we see ourselves. We're just stepladders for the talented amongst us. And you guys are all great.
Oh,
Now,
thank you.
no, you are. I mean, you have no idea what an honor and a pleasure it is to work with the people that are here and the other people that are between the covers of our books. You guys do things with words that I can only dream of. And it is just an awesome experience to get to do that, to get to work with you. Now, that said, Cliff, I picked the first poet to abuse. Oh, just a second. Okay, Malcolm.
Oh,
Who is this dog?
Doggy.
Bring him back. Puppy! It's a puppy!
Good dog.
Buddy.
You know, there's a fact of life that every dog respond almost every when you call them puppy, because that was once their name. And
that is
I
Buddy.
remember the happy times of when that was their name.
Yeah. Buddy is the son of or the dog of David's son, Sean. I'm at David's house right now. And Buddy has adopted me and loves to be up here with me, and sometimes gets a little boisterous. But it's hilarious to have a 120-pound pit bull who thinks he's a toddler and a lap dog. Yeah, and when he gets the zoomies and starts running around the room and at full speed, it can be quite amusing. So, that's
Hey,
Buddy.
somebody has a secondary source of sound going on.
All right, you behave.
Figure whoever it is knows so they can kill it.
all right. So, Bob, you were going to have me pick the next poet.
Yes.
So, I'll note. Jenna wrote in the comments, I suspect lots of us are applauding here at home, Malcolm. I know I am. So this is a tough act to follow. So I have to pick a tough poet. And I have known Stephanie for a very long time, since we were in
Okay.
Cascade Writers together.
Oh, yes.
Many years ago.
Oh,
and
God,
I know
that was-
she's a tough poet. So, and also Bob put her in the middle already. So conveniently. So I'm going to pick
Thanks.
Stephanie to read the next
Okay.
poem.
Okay. Well, in the next book coming up, the one that he showed, I have a short story which doesn't exactly apply to this, but I do have a poem that I put on my Patreon that is kind of kind of with what's going on in the Middle East. If you guys will indulge me and let
Lay
me
it
read
on us.
something. Thank you. The title is A Missile Called Peace. Named as a joke or in wry despair, the missile called Peace, graffiti spray painted there by a warrior seeking release. But missiles aren't made for peaceful times. They're meant for times of war, murder, destruction, and other crimes until the enemy can take no more. What can be done with a missile called peace? For if ever used, it's not. Forever a waste if war does cease, a larger waste if shot. The end.
That's an excellent ending as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Bob.
Well, just for that.
Yay! I'm not in the middle anymore.
Who wants to be in the middle? Well, let's see. Hold on here, Eric.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
in the middle. I can read a poem.
Yeah, you can, but you're not yet. We're saving you.
Okay. I'm not that tough an act to follow, you know.
Yeah, that's why we're saving you. Smile, Cliff. You set that one up.
Remember,
Never
Bob,
give
the straight man gets 60%.
Hey, thanks, Ed. We got you there.
Never give Bob a straight line.
Okay. So, has oh shoot, I forgot to blow up Stephanie. I'm sorry.
Boom.
Well, she had a
me
poem
up?
about a missile, so she kind of blew it up herself. Jenna said nice things about your poem, Stephanie. That's amazing. Stephanie says so much in so
You guys-
relatively few words.
You guys can you guys see the comments?
No, I didn't open it. I know where it is, but
There's a
Okay.
chat button at the bottom of your screen that if you click it, you can see the comment.
Yeah, you guys
except-
can follow the comments because those are some of the most sophisticated, wonderful people in the world are
Chat, here we
found in
go.
our audience.
okay, cool.
Self-selected poetry aficionados this morning.
And Eric Paul Schaefer. Wait a second, Paul Schaefer.
Yeah.
That name things. You ever had that one come up before?
Yes, he's my unacknowledged older brother.
All right.
And he was, before he was on
You're
TV, he was in the
Colorado,
Blues Brothers
right?
band.
Yes, that was Paul's claim to fame, the Blues Brothers.
Okay, so what are you going to read for us, Paul? Or Eric, I mean.
I've got one called "Not One of the Monsters Among Us," and but before I do that,
Yes, go ahead.
That prose and poetry book you mentioned, I think I saw one of those in my cellar way back in Baltimore. I think it's a text by H. Ward McGraw, or at least that's what I remember with my eidetic memory. So if you're still looking for it, you can probably find a copy online somewhere.
That was your influence?
No, that was your influence. I just remember seeing the book.
Oh. Okay.
Does that make Bob an online influencer?
Yes, it definitely does. Absolutely. I don't remember reading poems very early, even though that's pretty much what I write now. The first poem I actually remember was one by Lawrence Ferlinghetti, number 15, in Coney Island of the Mind. And that one blew the top of my head off. And I remember thinking to myself, you can do that? And so I decided I was going to try. And here's the poem called "Not One of the Monsters Among Us." One short note again, I've been appalled in the past 10 to 12 years by seeing the many people who lived around me become monsters. And that is my introduction. Jack down the block now makes me nervous when I spy him working in the garden. Is he pulling weeds, planting a plumeria, or burying the body of a young girl gone missing last week? Next door, the Smiths look a little longer in the tooth. The curtains are drawn, and I never see anyone there during. Doors automatically locked. I drive swiftly past those who dare walk on the street, arms extended, voiceless, only gurgling deep in the throat. All my life, I believed my neighbors were me, working hard, playing hard, shopping hard, cheering hard for a hometown team. When the moon is full, anyone looking sees no one wander out to admire that pearly brilliance. The leaves rustle, but the breeze is still. In the eyes of my neighbors and yours, welling like tears, I see suspicion. Look, everyone watches everyone else. Will that loudmouth down the street, whose son lost a position on the basketball team, to the Martinez boy, report the kids' yearly trip to Mexico to see cousins. And then little things niggle. When the mailbox is empty, I wonder whether someone took my mail downtown to examine for heresies or blasphemies or crimes against the state. As anyone does, I know people we all avoid in perpetuity. But this new world enlarges the madness all around us, enclosed in the bowed heads of our family, friends, and neighbors, and in shadows lurking in what we think we see. A shade ready to rise and merge with the frightening night after the light wanders to the other side of the planet. This cannot be. I'm too old to wake up today or any day to discover I reside among monsters who hate me, hate each other, and hate themselves enough to rip the nation into single rising embers because the universe is just too dark. I am not one of them. Whoever you are, I'm one of you. Listen, I am not one of the monsters among us.
Okay, that was wow.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice.
The so
Thank you very
where
much.
did that come from? Eric,
You're breaking up. I can't hear you.
you kind of hear me, but I'm doing my best Scotty impression, and everybody
Just
can
barely hear
Scotty.
some of you. I can't hear.
Can you hear me now, Eric?
Okay.
Okay,
Try now.
Okay.
Eric.
Eric, your screen freezes every once in a while for me.
Well, where
Okay.
that's going to
according-
happen.
But we
Now-
we heard the poem okay.
Yes, we did hear the poem.
Check your email, Cliff.
Yeah, I'm still not getting any good sound. Let me try this.
Did you see a poem I sent you?
Yes, I have it here. By
One more
Daniel Hero.
Well, one of the things that we did is we told some poets, bless their hearts. You know, you can't say poet without saying bless your heart if you're from the South. That we would have a professional reader. Now, after Malcolm's reading, and I almost sent this over to Mr. Crow, but I just wanted to send it to Cliff, give him a chance to read it while we ask Yanka to Oh, you went off and came back. I got a little beep that said I had a new entry into the thing, but I guess not. So now,
I am
Yanka,
here.
are you ready to read something for us?
Sure.
Now, tell us, Yanka. Now, I think I met you. Did I meet you at Rainforest?
Yeah.
Was it WesterCon, Norwestcon?
But, I think we met at Rainforest.
Tell us about Rainforest.
Rainforest is a writing retreat on Lake Quinault in the early spring, and it is the place to be. It's mostly science fiction people, speculative fiction people. We go down on this year. There are this is the 20th anniversary, and there are going to be 5 sessions.
Yes, and I got into one of them. Sorry.
Yay!
And isn't it Patrick Swenson who organizes
Patrick
that?
Swenson runs it, and He was a high school English teacher. He retired a couple of years ago, so now he has more time to herd the rest of us cats. And I don't know if there's still room in any of the sessions. The sign up was last week, and there were so many people trying to sign up that we crashed the site. But
Isn't that what always happens?
not always. It doesn't. I mean, it's usually session 2 fills in 10 minutes or something, and then the whole thing is full in half an hour. But this time there were so many people trying to sign up that it crashed the site, so it took a little bit longer. But it's a Wednesday through Sunday thing, and you go and write and hang out, and they've got it. Patrick usually picks a couple of people to give talks, and it's well worth attending. You can get it.
I will go beyond that. It's one of the most magical places to write. I think if there are ley lines in the world for writers, they converge up at Lake Quinault.
That is also true.
Sorry guys, whoever's typing, could you mute your mic, please? Because I'm having trouble hearing Bob.
Can you hear me?
Whoever's typing. Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. I wasn't sure if I got back or not. Okay, cool.
Okay.
You're
Well,
here.
I don't know if you're the one typing, but the typing's loud enough. I'm having trouble hearing. So apologies.
Well, if you're doing something that's like, for example, if you're going to play hide the treat with your dog, Malcolm, and you're not, your dog is being wonderfully gentle. But anyway, I'm going to there you go.
Hi, I'm Yanka. I play with words, and this is one of my silly ones. The billionaire gallop. The loudest voices in the din. Yell, he who dies with the most toys wins. Got what you need to win the game? Been told we start out all the same? They claim that it's a useful tool to meet the right people at the right school. But more important, understand that Daddy was a wealthy man. If you're rich in melanin, they might pretend to let you in. Don't even try if you're a girl. Just act sweet and clutch your pearls. You want to stand at the top of the pile? There need to be teeth behind your smile. Your only chance to get things done is looking out for number 1. Someday, maybe your sycophants will tire of their puppet dance. Instead of sitting home alone, they'll join to knock you off your throne. But don't you worry, don't you fret. They're not about to try that yet. Heads reeling from your factless spins, they blame each other for your sins.
Yay.
My
Thank
mic was muted. I couldn't hear my applause.
So much. And and by the way, I'm going to say this here: if you ever go on a hike with Yanka, put on your best boots, get your stick, and get ready to get left in the dust. That woman can.
That's not even true. I'm a botanist. I dawdle and look at little plants the whole way.
Oh, but between the dawdling, and you're right, I'd forgotten that element of it, that she could tell you more about everything you're seeing. It's it helps to be a plant nerd if you're hanging around with Yanka. But she's also a great poet. And let me shrink you down. And I never got you in the middle.
That's okay.
But,
I'm always off the
thank
edge
you
somewhere.
so much. Now, Cliff, I'm going to stick you in the middle for 2 reasons. Okay. Reason number one is you have got lots of poems, but you've got a poem in Scott's Planet.
I
And
do.
I'll let you give the intro and the understanding, the context for that. And then after that, Daniel Hero. And don't worry, Ellen. Are you a dentist? Ellen?
That's an unusual
No,
question
no.
for a poet.
No, I'm a music professor.
A what?
Really? We should talk.
Okay, good. I just was, you can talk to Cliff, but I just want you to know we're not forgetting you because you have the best wall behind you of almost everybody.
And if you
That's
hit the gear at the bottom of your page, you can flip it so it's not mirrored, so people can read the titles of your books on the shelf.
Yeah. Like we have eyeballs that can do that. So
Somebody
anyway,
does.
some of you do.
Young.
But
all right. You want me to read?
I'm going to let me blow you up.
Okay.
Oh, it's not letting me blow you up. It'll let me move you.
Oh, that's okay. We can see the reactions of the live studio audience. So, Bob, there's actually one additional, like three-line poem I want to read that was published in something called a Twitter zine back in the dawn of Twitter. They were actually paying markets for one tweet long works.
Wow.
And I got paid $5 for this 128 character poem because it was 128 characters back then, not 256. So you get about 15 words maybe. And it was published by Outshine. Yetzi DeVries, who was the editor for Shine Anthology, somehow convinced his publisher, which I think was Solaris, that marketing, a great marketing idea was to have a Twitter zine and pay $5 a day for little shorts and little poems. And there is still typing away. Someone is typing away, and I'm hearing click clack.
Okay, well, I will permit it.
Okay, thank you, Bob. And the idea, these were optimistic science fiction, optimistic short-term, short near future science fiction, and it was there was like Whimsical Saturdays, and I sold a couple things to Whimsical Saturday. This is one of them. The cybercat on metal paws stalks cyber savvy prey. The Ubermouse's EMP, though, lets it slip away. A better mouse, the labs cause celebrate. There you go. So I have no idea how people are reacting because I am filling the whole screen. But that was my first poetry sale, and this is my second in Scott's Planet. So I will say what Scott's Planet is it's science fiction. It's based on a short story and an idea from Bob, and it is probably the least political thing BQ Press has ever published, and is therefore hugely political in some sense. Because the idea is, thank you, Jenna. She apparently enjoyed it. The idea behind Scott's Planet is, lost colonies and how did they get lost? And so there's corporation, of course, has all these colonies that it thinks will be profitable, and some of them are and some of them aren't. And they decide for the ones that aren't profitable, they're going to pull up all the tent poles and head on out. And so they give the colonists a choice. Well, you could either come with us and go to a mining colony and be a miner, which doesn't sound very appealing, or you can stay on your colony planet, but we are taking all the spaceships, all the FTL travel. You will be marooned. And those are, of course, some people went and became miners, and some people didn't and stayed on their planet, which later became the lost colonies that were found in classic science fiction stories. That's the idea. And so obviously, the premise is built on corporate culture and what like people like Elon Musk want to do on Mars and that sort of thing. I would totally never take the deal to like go on Elon's Mars base because like, well, what if you're fired? Well, then, you can't pay for your oxygen anymore. So we're just going to kick you out the airlock. Sorry. That's that's the kind of thing that I would expect.
Heinlein do that?
Huh?
Didn't Heinlein do something like that?
Did he? I wouldn't put it past him. Anyway, so my contribution to Scott's Planet is a short poem called The Last Ship. And it goes like this. When the last ship went up, the smoke billowed out, a sudden cloud, and the heat of it rolled over those of us who'd come to watch, but not to board. As the ship receded into the empty sky, the sun set and stars winked on one by one. For the first time, just lights in the night sky, silent and alone, impossibly remote. That's it.
Well, thank you, Cliff. Now I got to tell you, the Scott's Planet. We had a poem by we had you. Stephanie wrote a poem for Scott's Planet, which
Yes, I did.
I thought you were going to read that, but your choice was good.
Well, the one I gave for Scott's Planet was a little long. I didn't want to take up that much time.
Oh, don't worry. But if we get time in the end, we maybe bring it in. But
Okay.
and one
I'd
of
be
our
happy with that.
gonna have today was Roberts, Andrew Roberts. who
Yeah, he
is-
couldn't make it, unfortunately.
But if you ever get a chance to read Andrew Roberts, I urge you to. He writes epic poetry that is it's like Beowulf on steroids.
He writes. He wrote something that's like a Wilfred Owen World War I poem at epic length, called Durham and Rose, which is just everyone should go out and buy a copy of Durham and Rose from your favorite online retailer, and then buy 5 copies for your friends because it's just.
Yes, because I have to say, he's a very personable person. I enjoy. We've had him on the show many times, and it's always a pleasure to have him. And but now you are reading a story that you have absolutely no background on understanding
Nope.
from a fellow named Daniel Hero. But
Yep.
There's something. If you're a poet and you want to sell to BQ Press, we're an easy market, I tell you, boy. But no, we are kind of none of us are real poets, but cadence matters. If I can feel the cadence and I like the words, I will probably buy it. It's just that way. If it reaches out and touches something in you. So and Daniel's poem did that. So
Yeah, I just read it for the first time this morning when Bob emailed it to me. So it's here it is, and I'm going to read it. Ready? All right, let's do it. It's called Liberty Bell Alarm. It is by Daniel Hero. Frodo lost a finger, Luke his whole right hand, King Arthur lost his kingdom, and Lennon lost the band. Nero fiddled sweetly. Neville said, "It's cool. If you can't see what's coming, then brother, you're a fool. Sound the bell with vigor. The thugs are at the gate. They're shoving on their jackboots and shouting out their hate. Whether you're a farmer or wear a suit and tie, what we want to know here is where your conscience lies. It's okay to stumble. Some will even fall. For you to be a hero, you must first hear the call. Slide into your armor, sharpen up your sword, link arms with your sister, and get ready for the horde. Frodo saved the Shire, and Luke saved Arthur saved his land entire, and John was never sad. Nero was an asshole. Neville, even worse. If you can't see what's coming, then brother, you are cursed. Excellent.
Ooh,
I like that.
that was a good one.
I had another one I was going to send you, but my email went funky on me. And
You could read that one.
Hey, maybe I will. I'm just, or if I can get back into the, did he have his alternative liberties? I don't know who had. I can't remember all my poets from all the stories.
We had a record number of poems in Alternative Liberties one.
And then we broke that record with this book.
As is appropriate.
And here I thought we did it with stories and poems for the thoughtful young. I thought that's why that got split in two, because you got so many poems.
Well, yeah, but you know what? When of the 12 copies we sold, I could actually tell you this. Remember, I told you I fell in love with a book called Prose and Poetry as a child.
Mm-hmm.
It was my primary reading. And I decided I wanted to do a children's book called basically a collection of poetry for children. And it got into the point that there were so many poems that we split it in two. So we had stories for the thoughtful young and poems for the thoughtful young. Those will always be one of my, because those were two books we put out, not because we ever thought we would make a nickel, but because we knew that they needed to be out there. There needed to be poetry and stories for kids who were looking for something of, I mean, it was not, I just like to feel like it filled a niche for the thoughtful kid that was just looking for something they could enjoy. And that's that's very vague and such, but I really, really loved working on those. And someday I just think if it would be so cool just to line up a day of reading where people could tune in anytime they wanted to during the day and find a poet or a writer reading their work from those two books, because they were fun. Now,
and like have it up on YouTube. That's cool.
Yeah, we could. That's where I'm weak. I could just send out the notes, start getting the readings, and then plop them up on the YouTube, because you guys are wonderfully talented, and most of you are really good readers. In fact, all of the ones here, you guys are. Now, I like what Jenna Hannon Moore said. That was excellent. I particularly like the assortment of literary and cultural references, and the fact that John Lennon was one of them. I was wondering how many people knew who Neville was. Everybody here knew who Neville was? Neville Chamberlain. The guy who came back talking to Hitler, waving his arm
peace
in the air.
In our time.
That says peace in our time. We got an agreement. Making an agreement with Hitler was like making an agreement with Trump. It's good till the ink dries.
Yeah, right idea, wrong time.
Well, I tell you, we have, and I say this without any uh, shame or regret, that Trump would probably, I mean, he would be Hitler if he thought he could get away with it. And in many ways, he basically is a reincarnation.
That's why he
I mean,
tried to
he's-
buy all the warehouses.
Secretly.
Yeah.
And I got to ask you guys a question, because we got poets here. And you see where you're located, Jenna. That says, what do you think he planned on doing with all these warehouse camps after he shipped everybody off? You don't invest that kind of money in a facility to house people if you don't have people you're planning on housing.
now you got to keep those beds occupied.
Yeah. They were going to
and I
be free
figured-
work camps.
Well, I just
Yeah.
figured that the people in our books, the people that published our books, people like Malcolm and David and Jim Wright and those of you here today might find yourself looking at the inside of a warehouse for a long time under a Trump unfettered administration.
Yeah, Cheryl says he's a trashy copy. I think he's like Temu Hitler.
Yeah, here's what happened when the file gets corrupted. 'Cause I'll say this: Hitler did not enrich himself.
There's that.
He
You know?
didn't need to, though.
Well, he didn't need to. He had a whole country of 90 million people occupying roughly a fifth of Europe. But we have given Trump 350 million people to abuse, and he is doing it. But enough of Trump.
We've got
Let
one
us
more
talk
poet.
to Jenna. Jenna, we always save the best for last.
Ellen.
So
Ellen.
let me enlarge you. Uh-oh.
Embiggen her.
Embiggen her. You know, speaking of dropping a name, Malcolm here mentioned David Gerald earlier. David Gerald quoted a word invented by Cory Doctorow, the enshittification.
Oh yeah.
And we like to think that we're the de-shittification of America as we publish our books. So, Jenna, you've sat here patiently. You've heard all of it. It's your turn. You're our last poet. So, what do you got?
Okay, so I'm Ellen, and I originally wrote a poem about 43 escaped monkeys in response to a news item that happened like maybe last year or the year before about a bunch of monkeys that were escaped and recaptured. So I submitted that, and Bob said, "Well, this is great, but can you write one about Portland frogs instead to go with a theme that's awesome?" And I never tried to write a poem to order before. I actually wrote the first poem because I was procrastinating an opera. In my day job, I'm a music professor. You know, I also write opera. I write some fiction, whatnot, and I do too many weird things, basically. But at any rate, I wrote the poem to order about the Portland frogs, and I am very familiar with. I am out there protesting. I recently moved from Texas to Connecticut, and I was literally out yesterday singing leading songs through a bullhorn outside of Citizens Bank, protesting their funding of ICE detention centers, basically. So protesting, and I love frogs, and I love protests. So this is a Portland frog poem. Like, pull it up here on my computer. We are all Portland frogs is the name of the We are all Portland frogs together in one Godzilla-sized frog suit. You cannot stop us. We are your worst nightmare. We have pepper spray for breakfast. We can take the heat. We've had spicier flies. Our knees are made for leaping, not for kneeling. While you seek power with greedy, grasping hands, we're the ones with the power, for we fight for the future of our tadpoles and all living things. We know to leap out before we are boiled. We sing in the rain. We are ready.
Wow.
Brava. That was great.
I love it. You know, it's one of the poets sent back a note that said, you know, my poem really was the lyrics of a song, and if you don't mind me singing it a cappella, and I sent him the link, and he didn't quite make it today, but I gotta believe that you and him would have been able to have some discussions. That was great, guys. Everything you've done today has been great. I have enjoyed it all. What's that in your hand,
I
Junka?
see a kitty.
Oh my God.
This is
It's,
Ellen,
Sylvia.
it's her familiar.
Yep.
Aw.
Ellen, I would like to
Sylvia,
see you now
Sylvia,
do a.
the pumpkin-eyed disaster muffin.
What is it?
Sylvia, the pumpkin-eyed disaster muffin.
I love it.
What were you saying, Cliff?
I was saying, like, now I want to see an opera based on Portland frogs.
Mm.
Okay, get hot.
Right, write that grant proposal and get that opera going.
Well, now here's the part where I want to ask everybody to just give a moment of thought and, about if this is your time to just say, hey, my final thoughts before we end the show. Malcolm.
I think that we really, as a country, need to be aware that this regime is targeting our most vulnerable populations. You know, they can't, and David says this all the time, you know, they can't go after gays anymore. They can't go after, so now they're going after the transgender people because they think we're weak and that we're an easy target. And what they're about to find out is not only do we have a lot of very powerful allies, but we are all very much mama bears who will protect particularly our children. The trans children in this country are suffering greatly. And we are all mama bears who will take you down if you threaten our kids. So they're in for a fight.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Because I mean, your poem was great and it's powerful. Now, Stephanie.
Yes.
Any last words you have for the audience before we go?
Shameless self-promotion, okay?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I also have a QR card. It'll take you to my Patreon. If you liked my, I don't know if I had it up there long enough for anybody, but anyway, it's stephaniewiper.com. If you like my poetry that I read today, please visit. And there's free memberships, but there's also the lowest one is only $1, and $1 helps keep me in cat treats so they don't eat me.
All righty. And I would
And
like
also,
to
she's in this book.
Oh, yes, I am. Scott's
And
Planet.
Alternative Liberties.
And Alternative Liberties, and a few other. I think I'm in After the Orange too, and a few other of the B Cube Press stuff. Bob's really cool. He's got great stuff. Whatever you pick from B Cube Press is going to be awesome.
Well, that's very kind. And I was just going to say that Stephanie has a unique place in B Cubed history. Our very first book spent like 6 weeks on the bestseller list.
Oh, Lord, you'll never let me forget this, will you?
Yeah. She wrote our very first review for BQ Press on Amazon. Gave us a 4. Hey, I am
An honest review.
Appreciate an honest 4 more than my cousin's 5 any day of the week. Okay? Because it's the words that matter. And so thank you for that, Stephanie, and thank you for being a somebody I've been enjoying working with over the past 10 years.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah. Now, Eric, since we're over our time, Eric, tell us your last thought and closing.
Okay.
And if you're not a leftist, it's okay.
No, I definitely am a leftist. There's nobody further left than I. I will say that my 10th book of poems, Second Nature, will appear in June, along with my birthday. And I hope you'll take a look at Coyote Arts Press and see some of my other books. On the other hand, I will say, all of you free speech advocates, since we were talking about concentration camps and workhouses, you should all expect to end up in one if we're not going to keep our mouths open until they shut them for us. Okay? Good luck to us all. That's what I say.
Thank you, because we're going to need more than luck. I
Yeah.
As many of you know, I go out and I protest at least one day a week. I'm out on the protest with my signs, and I'm betting, that not the last time before last, all of our folks that were there at the protest in their wheelchairs, they all lined up for a group photo. And I will just say, not everybody can get transportation to get them in their wheelchair out to the protests. But for those that do, we say thank you. And for those that don't, we just say provide support where you can for those who are protesting. And if you're protesting and able to get out there, always feel like you can ask somebody else to come along. Because when I did when I was protesting in Portland, I was down there. I was pending surgery to replace an ankle, and I was out there in my walker. And I was able to do it because of the support of family and friends that helped. And so be that family and friend that helps those who want to protest. Carry their sign for them, whatever you can do. Because do you think if Minnesota had gone quietly into the dark, that we wouldn't be seeing other American cities being hauled off person by person into the fully functioning warehouse concentration camp that they had envisioned for America? No, they would be emboldened, and they would be taking more and more. And so Minnesota is my that whole state is my hero. And
I had a couple of Twin Cities authors on a couple of months ago talking about that.
And
January.
they were on the ground giving us detailed. I loved having them. Now, Jenna, last words from what sounds like, God, just go for it.
I think he means Ellen. You keep saying Jenna because she comments.
Yeah.
Ellen, I'm sorry.
His words are getting like the commenter, and anyway.
Okay,
go
so
on,
I
Ellen.
would just say keep up the fight. If anybody likes to sing. It doesn't matter whether you're good, bad, or indifferent, or can carry a tune or anything. There's a group called Singing Resistance. It started in Minneapolis, but there's chapters everywhere now. I'm part of one locally because there's something when a bunch of people show up and are like singing chants and simple songs that anybody can learn easily. I feel like that's a great way to contribute. But any of us can contribute in any way. Keep up the fight.
Keep it up. Thank
And
you
it-
so much.
Thank you, Ellen. And if I could follow that up real quick,
No, it's not your turn.
yeah,
Uh,
this
Jen?
is
Go
a
ahead,
follow up.
Cliff.
This is a follow up.
Jen?
I'm co-hosting this anyway. At the No Kings Rally 3, I was part of a flash mob that sang Ode to Joy from Beethoven's Ninth Symphony with 4-part harmony and an orchestra. And we all converged in Palo Alto. And this is up on YouTube. You can find it. Just if you search for like No Kings Rally 3 flash mob. And that was fun. We only did like 4 pages of the music, but we were doing the choral part with cellos and horns and other smaller strings and other things.
Did you do it in English or German?
German, of course.
Oh, whoa.
The original lyrics. Freude. Anyway, it was so much fun. And it was my first time being part of a flash mob. I would like to plug a couple of poets, dead poets, actually. One is Gil Scott Heron, who wrote Whitey on the Moon in 1970, which Artemis has more or less made obsolete finally. I mean, they didn't land, but they at least circled the moon, and they weren't all Whitey. So that is a big improvement in the state of affairs. Although the general gist of the poem, which is contrasting the lofty space program with all the terrible things happening on Earth, is unfortunately just as relevant in
Still
2026
true.
as it was in 1969. Gil Scott Heron, if you're unfamiliar with that piece of spoken word, look it up. And I was looking up one of his obituaries. Wrote the obituary included the phrases: Gil Scott Heron released poems as songs, recorded songs that were based on his earliest poems and writings, wrote novels, and became a hero to many for his music, activism, and his anger. And I think that is a fitting. He would have fit right in with the BQ family had he lived longer. And I'm also going to plug Gwendolyn Brooks, who was the poet laureate of Illinois when I met her. And her poem, her very short poem, We Be Cool, is well worth checking out. But she also has longer works. She had longer works about South African apartheid and about all sorts of subjects.
Cliff,
Gwendolyn Brooks. Yes. And I got to meet her.
Oh, you lucky dog, you.
When I lived in Chicago.
Jenna Hannon Moore mentioned the revolution will not be televised. That is a very good one, because I knew of that before as a spoken word poem from the 60s, and it's
Still relevant today.
The revolution will
and
not
it's a
be
little
televised,
dark,
but it will be streamed. As we saw, including the wonderful rant by the science fiction community's own Greg Ketter of Dreamhaven Books, that was streamed.
Well,
and for those of you who are somewhere near California, World Fantasy Convention this year is in October, is in Oakland, California, and Greg Ketter is a special bookseller guest of honor.
Okay.
Now, before Jenna, I mean not Jenna, but sorry, Jenna.
Yanka.
Jenna's been doing great commentary in the comments section.
Yeah.
But
folks can go back and read those.
my brain is just, when you get to be a certain age, you just say, "Oh wow." But Yanka, we haven't heard your closing thoughts yet.
Well, keep it simple. Keep making art. Keep speaking out. And if there's enough of us, they can't play whack-a-mole to all of us, can they?
No, they cannot be the winning whack-a-mole.
Exactly. In Peter Gabriel's song Biko, about Stephen Biko, he wrote, "You can blow out a candle, but you can't blow out a fire. Once the
No.
flame begin to catch, the wind will blow it higher."
Very good. That's a very fitting. And all honor to another poet that is speaking of poets and songs, Woody Guthrie.
The
You
the
know,
OG.
we couldn't do a day of poet resistance like this if we hadn't had somebody like Woody Guthrie showing us how it was done best. And I just love the man.
This machine kills fascists.
Yeah, and
This land is your land. This land is my land.
yeah, and unless you're an industrialist, then well, you can have the land, but we're taking everything under it and over it and polluting what's left. But that said, thank you all for coming. Thank you, Cliff, and it's been a great day. But we are 21 minutes over, and that is usually, Malcolm, as you have observed on many cases, I'm sure that's usually reserved for Jim and David to at a half hour
Oh,
in.
yeah.
But your audience is still there, and so to the audience that showed up for this, thank you so much.
you.
And you
Poetry fans are the best fans.
guys, they stick to it, and someday we can all aspire to having people write a comment that says, "Are you the Saint Malcolm of David fame?"
Yeah, that's a good question. Are you? Because
That comment just dropped me.
oh, you
Yes,
are.
I am. Yes.
Oh, I'll have to tell David online because I chat with him occasionally. That I met Saint Malcolm. I think it's awesome.
Well, that's the beautiful thing. He submitted as MD Crow, and he got in just because I really liked his work. And only way later, I think we were damn
Doing
near
a Sunday. Yeah. The podcast.
and cool. So and Eric, Jenna, Alan, Janka, Steph, Malcolm, all of you, thank you. And so, gonna be gone now.